Om Namo Narayana, Discourse 3, Cessation of Bhakti Suffering. Narada submitted, with the object of stabilizing Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya, I shall now zealously perform a Jnana Yagya, or the sacrifice for the dissemination of knowledge, illumined by reading of Srimad Bhagavata, or the scripture which is expounded by the sage Shuka. The place where the sacrifice should be performed by me may now kindly be pointed out to me. The glory of Srimad Bhagavata may also be stated by you, masters of the Veda. In how many days should a reading of Srimad Bhagavata be heard, and what procedure should be adopted in it? Pray, tell me that on this occasion. The Kumaras replied, Listen, O Narada, we shall tell you all this, humble and discreet as you are. Near Haridwar, the gateway of the holy Ganga, so called because it enters the plains here. On the river bank is the place known by the name of Ananda. It is inhabited by numerous hosts of rishis and frequented by gods and siddhas, who are endowed with mystic powers by their very birth. Nay, it is crowded with various trees and creepers and overspread with fresh and soft sands. The place is charming to look at and situated in a sequestered area. It is ever charged with the sweet odor of golden lotuses. Animosity towards one another does not abide in the mind of living beings dwelling near that place. A Jnana Yagya may be commenced there by you without taking any special pains over it, and you will find that the reading of Srimad Bhagavata there will be full of unprecedented charm. Bhakti too will appear there in person, placing in the forefront the aforesaid pair, Jnana and Vairagya, always lying before her, devoid of all strength and with a body worn out with age. Bhakti and her two sons must reach there where a reading of Srimad Bhagavata is going on. Nay, the said trio gets rejuvenated, as it were, on hearing the words of the story. Suta resumed, Having spoken thus, the aforesaid Kumaras with Narada went together to that bank of the holy Ganga, impatient to enjoy the story of Srimad Bhagavata. As they reached the bank, there rose at once an uproar in the terrestrial region, in the realm of the gods, as well as in Satyaloka, or the realm of Brahma, the Creator. All those who were keen to enjoy the taste of the Lord's stories, and first of all, the votaries of Lord Vishnu, came running to drink the nectar-like story of Srimad Bhagavata. The sages Bhrigu, Vasishtha, and Chavana, Gautama, Medhatithi, Devala, Devarata, and Parshuram. Even so, Vishwamitra, the son of Gadi, Sakala, Markandeya, the son of Markandu, Lord Dattatreya, and Pipalada, Vyasa and his father Parashara, both masters of yoga, Chayashuka, and all the hosts of sages, the foremost of whom were Jajali and Jhanu, arrived along with their wives, accompanied by their sons and pupils, and full of excessive longing to listen to the story. So came there the Upanishads and the Vedas, Mantras and Tantras, the 17 Puranas and the 6 Shastras, also known as systems of philosophy. Rivers such as Ganga, Pushkara, and other lakes, holy places, all the four quarters, as well as Dandaka and other forests, all in a living form, mountains, etc., as well as gods, Gandharvas, and demons went there. The sage Bhrigu persuaded and brought there even those who did not come because of their importance. Invited with due ceremony by Narada to expound Srimad Bhagavata and greeted by all the Kumaras, the sage Shanaka and his three brothers, who are devoted to Sri Krishna, now occupied the excellent seat offered to them. The votaries of Lord Vishnu and those who have recoiled from worldly enjoyments, recluses and celibates sat in the van, and in front of them all sat Narada. On one side sat the hosts of seers, on another side sat the denizens of heaven, gods and others. On a different side sat the Vedas and Upanishads. On one side sat the deities presiding over the tirthas, or the sacred places, while on another sat the ladies. Shouts of glory, shouts of greetings, and blasts of conches were heard. There was a tremendous shower of red powder, flowers, and parched grains of paddy. Many a leader of the gods mounted his aerial cars and covered all those assembled there with flowers of the wish-yielding tree. Suta continued, when they were all seated as aforesaid and had concentrated their mind, the Kumaras began to describe in clear terms the glory of Srimad Bhagavata to the high-souled Narada as follows. The Kumaras said, we now proceed to tell you the glory of Srimad Bhagavata, or the scripture expounded by the sage Shuka, through the mere hearing of which liberation is secured within one's palm, as it were. One should constantly attend and constantly listen to an exposition of Srimad Bhagavata, through the hearing of which Sri Hari takes up his abode in one's heart. This work consists of 18,000 shlokas and is divided into 12 skandhas, books, and it is in the form of a dialogue between King Parikshit and Sri Shuka. Do hear the story of the said Bhagavata. A man revolves on this whirling of transmigration through ignorance only so long as the story of Srimad Bhagavata does not enter his ear even for a moment. What will be gained through the hearing of many scriptures and Puranas, which will only create confusion in one's mind? The Bhagavad Shastra alone proclaims loudly its capacity to grant liberation. That house itself, in which Srimad Bhagavata is read every day, is actually converted into a sacred place and drives away the sins of those dwelling in it. Thousands of Ashwamedha Yajnas and hundreds of Vajapaya sacrifices cannot compare in their efficacy even with 1/16th of a reading of Srimad Bhagavata. Sins persist in this body, O sages, rich in asceticism, only so long as the story of the glorious Bhagavata is not duly heard by men. In point of efficacy, neither the holy Ganga, nor Gaya, nor Kashi, nor Pushkara, nor Prayaga can bear comparison with the reading of Srimad Bhagavata. If you seek the highest destiny, read even yourself daily 1/2 of even a quarter of a verse of Srimad Bhagavata. The sacred syllable Om, the seed of the Veda, and the holy Gayatri, the mother of Veda, as also the Purusha Shukta, which is a hymn consisting of 16 mantras sacred to the cosmic person and figuring with a little variation in all the Vedas. The three Vedas, Rik, Sam, and Yajur, and also Srimad Bhagavata, as well as the 12-syllabled mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the sun god appearing in 12 forms, severally presiding over the 12 months of the Hindu calendar. Prayaga, Kal, the time spirit, represented by 12 months, nay, the Brahmanas and Agnihotra, which is the daily offering of oblations, chiefly consisting of milk, oil, and sarg rule considered as incumbent on every householder of the twice born classes in the former days. The cow, and even so the 12th of every lunar year, also the holy basil plant, and the vernal season, consisting of the 2 months, Chaitra and Vaishakh, roughly corresponding to the March and April of the English calendar, as well as Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Person. No distinction in reality is recognized by the wise among these. The sins committed in crores of lives by the man who intelligently reads the whole of the scripture known by the name of Srimad Bhagavata without a pause get rooted out. There is no doubt about it. Again, he who reads one half or even one quarter of a verse of Srimad Bhagavata every day secures the combined fruit of a Rajasuya and an Ashwamedha sacrifice. Srimad Bhagavata read every day, contemplation practiced on Sri Hari, the watering of the Tulsi plant, and service rendered to cows are equal in value. Lord Sri Krishna, also known as the protector of cows, out of love grants an abode in Vaikuntha itself to him by whom is heard at the time of his death even a sentence from Srimad Bhagavata. Nay, the man who gifts a copy of it placed on a seat of gold to a votary of Lord Vishnu decidedly attains absorption into Sri Krishna. The fool, by whom even a little of the story of Srimad Bhagavata is not drunk with a concentrated mind during his whole lifetime, has, alas, spent his life like a pariah or a donkey in vain, and only proved instrumental in causing pangs of childbirth to his mother. That fellow of sinful deeds, by whom not even a few words of Srimad Bhagavata, which consists of discourse of Sri Shuka to Parikshit, have ever been heard, is depicted as a living corpse. Leaders of the community of gods in heaven speak of such a man like this. Fie upon such a man who is on a level with the beasts and a veritable burden on earth. An exposition of Srimad Bhagavata is certainly rare in the world. In fact, an opportunity to hear it can only be had through merit percolated through crores of lives. Therefore, O wise one, O storehouse of yoga, this should be heard with diligence. There is no restriction regarding the number of days in the course of which is to be heard. The hearing of it is commended at all times. The hearing of it is advised at all times, side by side with the vows of truthfulness and continence. This being impracticable, however, in Kali Yuga, the specific rules promulgated by Sri Shuka in this behalf should accordingly be known. Since it is not possible in the age of Kali to control the vagaries of the mind, to observe rules of conduct strictly, and to remain consecrated to a sacred purpose for a long period of time, it is considered advisable to hear the whole of it in the course of a week. That very reward which is attained by listening to it with reverence every day during the month of Magha has been ascribed by Sri Shukadev to the hearing of Srimad Bhagavata in a week's time. The complete hearing of Srimad Bhagavata in a week has been commended due to lack of control over the mind and prevalence of diseases, as well as because the life of span of man has been shortened, and also because a number of evils are rampant in the Kali age. One bids fair to attain with ease, through the hearing of Srimad Bhagavata in a week, that fruit in its entirety which cannot be attained through severe self-discipline, nor through concentration of mind, nor again through samadhi, which is complete absorption of the mind in the universal spirit. The 7 days hearing of Srimad Bhagavata is superior to a sacrificial performance. It is even superior to fasting. It is superior to severe self-discipline and is even superior to a visit to sacred places. It is superior to yoga. Nay, it is superior even to meditation and spiritual enlightenment. What shall we say of its superiority? Oh, the wonder of it is that it is superior to everything else. Shaunaka submitted, "This story told by you is really wonderful. But how has the Bhagavata Purana, revealing as it does the true nature of Lord Narayana, the cause of Brahma, a master of yoga, proved efficacious at the present moment as a means to final beatitude, superseding all other disciplines such as spiritual enlightenment?" Suta replied, "When Sri Krishna was ready to ascend to his own divine realm, leaving this earth, Uddhava, even after hearing his teaching contained in Book 11 of Srimad Bhagavata, addressed the following words to him. Uddhava said, 'Having accomplished the object of your devotees, O Krishna, you are going away. There is, however, great anxiety in my mind. Pray, give ear to it and make me happy. The terrible Kali Yuga is imminent. Wicked people will appear again, when surely, due to their fellowship, even the virtuous develop ferocity. Whom will this earth, bearing a heavy burden in the shape of sinners on her bosom, resort to in the form of a cow? No protector other than you, O lotus-eyed one, is in sight. Therefore, taking compassion on the virtuous, O lover of your devotees, pray, do not go. It is for the sake of your devotees that you have appeared in a qualified personal form, though formless and all consciousness. How will those devotees live on earth when separated from you? There is great hardship in worshipping God without attributes. Here, ponder a little again." Hearing this submission of Uddhava on the holy site of Prabhasa, Sri Hari thought within himself, "What should be done by me for sustaining my devotees?" The Lord infused all his glory and energy into the Bhagavata and disappeared in the ocean of Srimad Bhagavata. This constitutes, therefore, a visible verbal manifestation of Sri Hari. It drives away all one's sins by being waited upon, heard, read, or seen. Therefore, hearing it in a week has been recognized as superior to all other disciplines. Nay, in Kali Yuga, it has been declared to be the only righteous course excelling all other disciplines. Indeed, this is the righteous course prescribed in the Kali age for washing away all agony, poverty, misfortune, and sin, as well as for the conquest of passion and anger. Otherwise, the Maya of Lord Vishnu is most difficult to get rid of even for the gods. How then can it be set aside by men? Hence, with the object of getting over this Maya too, the course of hearing Srimad Bhagavata in a week has been commended. Suta went on, while the great virtue of hearing Srimad Bhagavata in a week's time was thus being promulgated by the sages, Sanaka and his three brothers, a great marvel took place in that assembly at that time. It is presently being narrated to you. Listen you to it, O Shaunaka. Bhakti, which is identical with love for God, appeared in a living form all of a sudden, taking with her aforesaid sons, Jnana and Vairagya, resorted to their youth and repeating the names of Sri Krishna Govinda, Hari, Murari, Lord, all in the vocative. Those present in that assembly saw the aforesaid arrived there, clad in the most lovely attire and adorned with jewels in the form of truths contained in Srimad Bhagavata. They all began to speculate as to how she had come and how entered the assembly in the midst of sages. The juvenile sages, Sanaka and his three brothers, then made the following observation. She has just emerged out of the substance of the story of Srimad Bhagavata. Hearing these words, Shri, along with her sons, humbly spoke to the sage Sanat Kumara as follows. Bhakti submitted, almost dead in Kali Yuga, I have been reinvigorated by you and your brothers this very day, having been fed with the nectar-like story of Srimad Bhagavata. Pray tell me now as to where I should stay, O sons of Brahma. Thereupon they addressed the following words to her. You bestow on the devotees a form similar to that of Sri Krishna. You are the only sustainer of love for the Lord and put an end to the disease of transmigration. Therefore, taking recourse to extreme firmness, dwell you as such incessantly in the minds of the votaries of Lord Vishnu. Though prevailing over the whole world, these evils born of Kali Yuga either will not be able to cast their eyes on you there. Even while she was thus being directed by them, Bhakti instantly took up her abode in the mind of the devotees of Sri Hari. Though destitute, they are really blessed in all the three worlds, in whose heart abides exclusive devotion to Sri Hari. It is for this reason that, bound with the cord of devotion, Sri Hari too dwells in their heart, completely renouncing his own divine realm. More than this, what shall we say with regard to the glory of the aforesaid scripture, bearing the name of Bhagavata, the very embodiment of Brahma? On its being expounded with full dependence on it, the praiseworthy exponent as well as the man listening to its exposition both attain equality with Sri Krishna. Have done, therefore, with other righteous courses. Thus ends the third discourse entitled Cessation of Bhakti's Agony, forming part of the glory of Srimad Bhagavata contained in the Uttarakhanda of the glorious Padma Purana. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.